Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another movie review right here today. Um, and it's an interesting movie, and there's kind of not on purpose, there's kind of a theme with a couple of the movies I'm probably going to review today. Um, Hopefully, I get them recorded today. But today we're going to be reviewing Curve, and this was seen on Netflix, so it's available on Netflix currently. As far as this record this review going up, it's available on Netflix. Now, 2, 3 days from now, who knows? But as of now, it's on Netflix. Um, it's one of those movies that's been on there for about a couple months, I think, and I just now got around to watching it. It looked interesting, and I've been wanting to watch it for a while. All right, so let's get into the meat and potatoes. I almost just gave my opinion in this end of the video. Okay, and but today we're going to talk about Curve. This stars Julianne Hough, and if you think, why does that name sound familiar? Because she's a country star, musician, whatever you want to call them, country artist. There you go. And she's been in a few things, but mostly she stays to like TV movies and things like that. I think she's been in some. I think she's been in a couple other big budget movies before, and she's done pretty decent. So she's not bad. But this is probably one of the first ones that she's been. Well, no, I'm not gonna say that because somebody's gonna be like in the comment below. They're gonna be like, "You're wrong." She's been in other ones. Um, but I don't really know. This is one of the ones that she's the main character, and she hasn't been in very many of them. That's the case. Like I said, unless it's a TV movie. This could have been a TV movie because they're starting to put that kind of stuff on Netflix. Um, I know that very shortly they're probably going to start loading up with Lifetime movies. This is because I've heard things in the works with Netflix, so I'm not looking forward to it, but I am looking forward to it because it can be interesting to see those kind of movies. I can just watch it whenever I want to on cable. I got cable, but um, yeah. Let me get another drink. Good old Dew, back in the stew. All right, let's kind of move this around here. And let's talk about Curve. So Curve with Julianne Hough, like I said, Christian Lofton is the other guy, and I looked him up. Didn't really do much. He was in American Horror Story, I think, is probably his best claim to fame. He played some villains in, I believe, The Flash. I'm pretty sure they're villains. If not, if they're not their villains, well, it had to be villains because he's played like multiple characters. So either he's morphing into different characters or something. I have no idea. Um, but he did play different characters, so yeah. But this movie is basically about this girl who uh, I'm not exactly sure what's going on in her life. I know that something is going on, and they hint to it, but they don't really tell the entire story. Is I want to say some dude like said that they got married, but they didn't want to go on a honeymoon. So instead of them both going on the honeymoon, she wanted to get away and go somewhere and get out of town. And in turn, I think she's helping somebody else get married, is what I got from the beginning of the story. It's kind of confusing. Like the beginning of the story is kind of like she's on the phone talking when she could. Like I think she stopped at the gas station or she pulled off and she was talking to somebody like randomly on a location. And then later on, she pulls off again, I think, if I'm remembering right. Um, and she's like texting, I think, something like that. But then she like you start hearing like there's like thoughts going off in her head, and you hear the voices and stuff. And I think that's what they were doing at one point, trying to give you more intel into the story of what's going on with her. Basically, she's just not having a good relationship with the person she's in right now, and she's trying to get away from it. It seemed like she didn't want to be like the. I don't think she wanted to actually go to this wedding she's going to, but she needed to get away. I'm thinking. And she kind of was like hesitant on going, I think, because the way that they were talking back and forth, I don't know, it's just weird. So they set you up for this, and then I'm not really giving anything away. That's not even part of the story. The major part of the story is when Kristen Lofta's character, I think it's Tommy is his name, I think. I can't remember his character's name. It's something like that. I think it's Tommy, and he is just a hitchhiker. And they, where did they meet? Oh, I think did she stop at a gas? I think she stopped at a gas station, and she went and got some, and then she was coming out. She gets in, she kind of sees him and says, "Hey," and then I think that's no, that's not it. I don't know what the heck. Maybe I don't know. I'm blanking on like what happened because I thought they had an altercation before. It wasn't bad, but then he's hitchhiking, and then she goes and oh no, I know what happened. I know what happened. Okay, never mind. Cancel. This is what happened. So she's driving along, and her car just stops running for some reason, and she couldn't figure it out. So she's stuck on the side of the road, um, and the guy is walking, and he's just hitchhiking, or he's just walking around the area. I don't know what the story is yet. I still haven't figured that part out. It was kind of one of those movies where the movie ended and you still weren't sure what exactly you watched. It's one of those things. It may give you my opinion of the movie already, since you know if you've watched my videos, you know what movies usually like that what my opinion are of them. But anyway, this movie, he stops, he helps her with the car, he gets it running, and then he's like, okay, and and then he kind of he didn't really seem like he wanted a ride, but she's like, I would give you a ride, but I have my reservations, and I just I want to be safe and everything like that. And he's like, that's fine. I perfectly understand. That's what he says. So he acts like a perfect gentleman, you know. And then she drives off and leaves him there to walk, do whatever he was doing before. She doesn't even get very far until she stops the truck and she has second thoughts. Says, man, she's probably thinking to herself, this guy just helped me out. I probably should be helpful and, give him a ride to wherever he's, at least a little bit further down the road. At least to somewhere where there's civilization, because they're out like in the middle of nowhere, where there probably was a little traffic, but there was much traffic, going out. Um, so he gets in the car, and they talk for a little bit, and they get to know each other, for about 3-4 minutes, and then he says a really vulgar statement to her. Let's just say about an oral fixation. All right, let's just say that he says it very vulgar in a way that I've never heard of said in a movie before. There probably was one, probably in some horror movies that I haven't seen, but I've never really heard it said this like direct at somebody like at a person that they're trying to do something to. And he says it, and she's like, "Get out, get out, get out." That's where the fun begins. In this movie, really the whole thing about it is that I don't want to tell you everything because then I'll give you away half the movie. But so something happens, but um, it's kind of I don't know. It's not anticlimactic. What I want to say. It's odd. Like they drag it out way too long. The movie is longer than what it should have been. If this was all it was going to be, they probably should have cut short. I know what they were trying to do. Like there's older movies that have done this better. Um, I think I want to say like Last House on the Left kind of has something like this going on. Um, but Curve is kind of one of those movies that's trying to be a classic movie and trying to do very, very good. This is what I will say. Curve is it's not a completely bad movie, but it drags in the middle. Everything happens. It drags in the beginning because they're trying to tell you the story of her, which they should have had them drive for a little while, stopping at gas stations and saying that he says, and he may say like, well, I think I might be able to, leave, at the next stop. I just got to get a hold of somebody, make sure they're going to be there, and tell her it's like 50 miles that way, and just something like that. Like they could have done that. told the story along the way like that, and started the movie with her picking him up, and having car trouble. Start the movie with that. That's what they should have done. But instead, they don't do that. They wait a long time, so you're already bored with that, and then the stuff starts to happen. And then it kind of drags from there because the stuff happens. There's a long dragging period where it's really boring, and they're showing her and stuff, doing things, and then at the end there's another big climatic thing that happens, and the movie ends. Not really the best movie done that way. So I will say it's an average movie. It's an okay movie, but you're going to be bored at times. You're going to be bored. It's one of those movies that you put on and you're kind of doing other things. Um, if you know what I mean. Like, it's one of those movies where you don't probably need to put all your attention into it because you're not going to miss any detail. There's no detail in there like you're going to miss and then it's going to come back at the end of the movie and you're like, oh yeah. There's nothing like that in this movie. Curb is one of those average movies that they tried to make a classic movie. It just didn't work out. It didn't pan out. So Curb, I would definitely not recommend. It's one of those movies that I wouldn't watch right away. It's probably going to go around on these streaming. Um, probably going to be on all the streaming things because it's not that good of a movie. It's an average movie at best. It's I mean, on the top like 1,000 movie list, it probably wouldn't make it. That's what I'm saying. Uh, Julianne Hough did a great job at acting, I think, and the other guy wasn't bad. It's just I think they should, like I said, they should have switched some things around in the movie. It probably would have been a lot better. Um, just dragged at times, and it was like trying to tell a story, but then you didn't tell the complete story. Like I still didn't understand what was going on with the main character. Um, to kind of, and you could tell in the video, like I still don't know. Like it wasn't clear. I just finished watching this last night. I watched part of it, and then I finished. I watched part of it, I think, last week, but I still remembered everything about it. That's why I wanted to hurry up and finish it. And I finished it last night, but it was just like, what? It didn't really make no sense. But anyway, like I said, that's my opinion of the movie. It was just a little, it seemed like a little, it dragged a lot. There should have been a lot more cut out. And it was only like an hour and 20 minutes, but still, it probably should have been cut down to like an hour, to be honest. It should have been like a short movie, whatever. I'm fine with that. See, I'm fine with watching a short movie. I'm waiting for more of those to go on Netflix, because I think that would be interesting to see, like, kind of like a 1 hour movie and stuff like that, because I think those would be kind of interesting. Like shorter movies, I think that'd be neat. Why somebody hasn't done that? Netflix would be a perfect thing. You just watch like just a 1 hour movie, be done. I think it'd be interesting. Um, anyway, that's my opinion with Curve. If you've seen the movie Curve on Netflix, let me know. Give me comments down below. This is the 2015 Curve, by the way. So if there's another Curve out there, because they like to name movies the same thing lately, it's weird, very weird. But yeah, this is Julianne Hough. And Curve is available on Netflix currently. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you have seen it, if you haven't seen it, go check it out if you want to. Not gonna force anybody to watch this movie because it's not that good. And tell me what your thoughts are down below. As always, keep rocking and keep on watching movies. Later, guys.